Well, here we have, and I just got these in last night, my MGP brake caliper covers for my 2013 Dodge Challenger RT Plus. I ordered these through Southern Auto Parts, which actually I pulled up on my iPad here so you can get a look at. I know if you do a web search, this is the first main thing that comes up. But I know if you go on eBay, I think there are other sellers who are on there. But I dealt with these guys here for these. They offer several different colors. You can get the MGP branding on it. A couple different variations of the Challenger. I think they do the Camaro and the Mustang as well. But and they run here about the price they've got advertised here is $200. Plus, if you want to do that includes shipping, unless you want to do expedited shipping, which I did and wish I didn't because I ordered these on Christmas Eve, but because of the holiday schedule, there were delays. And also, one other thing to note here, if you go with Southern, and they say it right here on the website somewhere, that if you want these things to be rushed to you, you want to call them and make sure they have them in stock, because if they don't, they have to reach out to the manufacturer and have them make them for you. So that means that that takes like 5 or 7 business days, so that adds to that. So basically I ordered these Christmas Eve and then I just received them last night on January 10th. So once I got it on my mind that I wasn't going to be doing this on my Christmas break, I just said, all right, fine, whenever they get here, they get here. But they're finally here. Anyway, I opened these last night because I couldn't wait to look at them, but I wanted to share this with YouTube because I know there's not a whole lot on the web about these things. A lot of interest people have in brake caliper covers to help make your car look a little nicer, especially if you have unsightly calipers. Mine doesn't. My Challenger RT, the brake calipers on there actually look pretty good, but I do have a red hood defender stripe on my car, and I thought that the red, this red detail, in the wheels would look really, really nicely. So here are the two rears. Here's the front, and then one more of the front there. The packing of the box, by the way, was fine. This is adequate for what's in here. The bubble wrap, and they give you a brochure, packing slip, and they also have a very nice installation guide. Very simple. This doesn't take rocket science to put this together, but if you need help, they've got an installation video you can look at. It's very clear here. It's on good paper. This is like a satin gloss paper, heavyweight paper. It's not just some crappy copy paper. In addition to that, they have a technical assistance number, so you can call them while they are working here, and they're in California. So they're in America. They're made in America, which is nice. This is a very good alternative to some of the other options that you might see on the web there. I see some people going with the plastic Brembo fakes for $18, and I don't know, man. If you want to put plastic on a part of your car, that's going to heat up, knock yourself out. But let alone the whole fact of whether or not you actually have Brembo brakes on your car or not. But these are nice. It's MPG. It's a good brand, and the workmanship on here, I have to say, is pretty good. The first thing I noticed is that these are a little lighter weight than I thought, but given the fact that you need to be really mindful of how much clearance you have in between your brake calipers and your wheel, this makes sense. And it's not cheap by any stretch. I mean, you would really have to muscle into this to bend it. I wouldn't recommend stepping on it though, because you'd probably have a hard time getting it back into shape and fitting properly on your calipers. But the welding and all that is good, and the paint is nice. Doesn't look like it's going to be chipping or anything, and the etching that they did on this is really just beautiful. That's a perfect logo. They use a really nice silver paint in there, and obviously most people, myself included, get these because they are a cosmetic upgrade, as you can see evidenced here by the etching, the hardware imprint etching that's there, which I think is unnecessary, but whatever, man. I mean, it's they're going to look really nice. It's going to help make the stripes on my car stand out a little bit better. And also, they're supposed to help cut down on the brake dust. I heard that's actually legit. I don't have much of a problem with brake dust because I've got a 6-speed and I have a lot of fun driving my car. I like to downshift a lot and let the motor slow down the car, but so I don't really have that problem with over braking or too much brake dust. But still, I like to keep my wheels clean, and especially when it's nice out. I'm out there 2 or 3 days a week cleaning them up. So this helps make that job easier. Great. And also, they're supposed to help keep the temperature of your brakes down a bit too. And there's some tests that I saw on YouTube on this, and like 15 to 20 degrees cooler or whatever. And I don't, I'm not a pro, guys. I'm a consumer. I mean, if these things keep your brakes cooler, and cooler brakes means that they're going to last longer, then great. If not, as long as these things don't negatively affect the brake performance or the life, I don't really care too much about it. But hey, if there are benefits to it, great. So we're going to be putting these on my Challenger in a few minutes. But that's what the packaging looks like when you order MGP brake caliper covers through Southern Auto Parts. Okay, so here we are out of the car. As you can see, it is all wet. Getting a lot of rain out here today, but unfortunately this is the only time we have to work on this. I got John here, my little helper, with me. Say hi, John. He's not going to say hi right now. Anyway, here's what the calipers look like stock, and as you can see, they're really they don't look bad at all with the car. I know it's a little dark here and things are a little dirty because of the rain and everything. Look out, buddy. And you'll see there's a little oxidation, everything on the brakes there, but what have you. But that gives you, I don't think they look bad, but I think that the red will stand out pretty nicely with the hood to fender striping there. And then in the back, similarly, I don't think they look bad. It's not a bad looking caliper. The wheel's kind of in the way there, but overall, it's aside from the oxidation that just happens to be on there at the second because of the rain, they're really not bad looking. So John's going to give me a hand, right, John? You going to help?
Yep.
And we will see how it goes. Okay, so here's how we look here with the wheel off. I did the first one already just as a test, just so I could figure things out and see how they go, and I'm glad I did that because it took me a minute to kind of figure out how these go. But basically these little clips you get here, I got that one on already, but basically they look like this. They're pretty straightforward piece of hardware. They get clipped on here like so, and you basically push them over as far back as you can here. Lay flat like that, and then this piece, so here we go. This gets placed on, the bracket gets, you can see here, you basically work it so the bracket snaps on here like such, and then you get it basically as far back as you can, because you want this piece to be resting as flat against the caliper as possible, because of course you don't want it bulging out and rubbing up against the wheel. So basically this fits very snugly, and I'm sorry, I don't think the lighting here is great, but basically you just want to, it's very simple, it's just a matter of a little bit of maneuvering, because it is a pretty snug fit. And the other thing, basically it's the same thing on the bottom side here too. The other thing you want to make sure that you do is make sure that this is lined up symmetrically and evenly, so it's not crooked or anything like that. And it's pretty straightforward. And lastly, we just want to tighten these babies up, and you don't want to over tighten them, cause any undue stress, unnecessary stress on any of the components here. But of course you want it snug, you don't want this thing sliding back and forth or anything like that. But pretty straightforward, and again, everything there looks really nice and straight. The other thing you're going to want to do is do a clearance test, and they give you this little piece of paper, it's like a little piece of cardstock, to slide in between the clip and the rotor here, just to make sure that it goes in evenly or easily without getting stuck at all. And as you can see here, we've got full clearance here. It's really not a problem at all. So we're all good here on this side, and we'll do the same thing on the bottom side here. Okay, so I hit a little snag, and I'm actually back. I went back to the first wheel even here, because as I put everything on, adjusted it, everything seemed to be fine and clear. I put the wheel on, everything seemed to be clear, and then as I tightened it down, I noticed that the very inner part of the rim here, the mag, was rubbing up ever so slightly against this. You could hear it, you could see it, just barely touching it. I even got that little slip of paper and did a little test with it, and it wasn't clearing at all. So what I realized I needed to do was I took the whole thing back off, and this bracket here that's welded on, this red piece, basically what I did is I just bent it inward ever so slightly on both sides. So the effect of it would be this plate, instead of laying flat, it would be sinking in slightly, right? So it wouldn't be perfectly flat, but it would actually dip in this way. And you've got plenty of room on this side to be able to do that against the caliper. So it would be not quite flush with this here, but pretty close to it. And I just did a test with the other wheel and took a look at it, and there's much more clearance. It's much better doing it that way. So that may be something you want to keep an eye on when you put yours on. Just be mindful of that. If it looks like it's really close, just take it back off. Try to bend it a little bit. Again, you don't want to ruin this or damage it, but just do it just ever so slightly to see if it makes a difference, and then go from there. Okay, moving on to the rear tire here. We see here the bracket's actually a little different. Instead of having that groove cut through it or that channel cut through it, it has a bolt right on here, and then a nut. And basically what you do is you put this on first. So. Like so. And then you just simply lay the caliper cover over it, line up the screws, do the same thing on both sides, of course. Tighten it down, check for clearance again between the clip and the rotor using this little piece of paper here, or I think it's 0.013 of an inch, and you're good to go. This, I have to say, is much easier than the front. It's just a lot easier using this bracket. I'm not sure why they did that with just the rears and not the fronts. It just seems to be a lot easier going on that way. And in terms of the fit, I mean, obviously it's a different caliper, different system back here, but it fits with a lot of clearance. I mean, as you see here, I'm not going to have any problem really whatsoever in terms of a clearance issue between this and the wheel. So everything here looks good. We're just going to go ahead and check for clearance. Yeah, no problems there at all. And I just did the same on the bottom. So we are good to go. Here's the finished product.